Hi everyone, Indez here. The Christmas is here, but also the snow, the cold, everything, man. Like, Portugal is becoming so freezing cold in these days. Not only that, we also got Christmas coming inside the game. It's the first time in my first Christmas on this game, so, well, this is actually kind of cool to see like some Christmas vibes go inside the game. But let me go and dive into pretty much a build that I've been testing out for the past few weeks. The reality is, like, there's nothing really exciting happening when it comes to barb builds. We still have the same builds. So with this, I actually went on Discord and I saw like this Nickle build that is shared that is pretty much just turns you into like a fire and ice demon. Then you have like the hammer, then you have all your shields, and overall it has been actually really fun and really refreshing. I still think that I still need a few more stats to making it run. So let's dive into this build because it is pretty straightforward. You're gonna have your rat, so you're gonna be big and strong, and also have your fire aura. You're gonna have the sprint to be fast, then you're gonna have the hammer that's gonna pretty much blow up everything, and then you have the cleave to add that extra damage. So when it comes to the answers, these are the ones. We have the alt slank helmet. This one is gonna be responsible for you to go and create like a firestorm around you whenever you put the axes spawning around you. Is gonna add extra damage to it. You're gonna use the cold tempered. Well, this chest, makes that with the hammer of the ancient, whenever you have your enemies frozen, it's just gonna bang on them and it's gonna shatter them and apply a lot of damage, and also it's gonna apply chill on the enemies. And you're gonna see why it's important to have like these cold effects, the chill effects happening on the mobs. Then we have the Hell's Legacy. To be honest, this is pretty much like the best shoulders instance when it comes to open world farm, because whenever you run, you're gonna leave it's just like some fire around you. If you see here, there's like this trail, so if the mobs sit and they stay on top of this, everything is gonna burn. It's gonna add a lot of damage, and overall is gonna be very, very good to you. Then we have here the Snow Drifter. Well, this one, it is pretty much, is gonna go and add a shielding aura around you, so this is pretty cool. Then we have here the Frigid Grim, which is gonna spin like 2 axes around you. So whenever these axes go and you attack the mobs, is just gonna blow them, like it's just gonna everything is gonna explode. So they are very, very cool to use. Then we have the Stonefall. Pretty much the Stonefall is just here to add some extra damage and some cooldown reduction to your Hammer of the Ancients. 20%, it is really, really good. We have the Thunder Legacy. This is the one that's gonna make your Wrath of the Berserk to cause burn to nearby enemies. So whenever I turn it on, well, this is how it's gonna look. Then we have here the Clattered Steel. This well, it has been here for a long time. The Hammer of the Ancient now starts coming from the sky, and well, it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see, because, you know, as you go and you go around, you're just gonna pretty much just keep dropping hammers wherever you go. So looks really, really cool. When it comes to the set items, this is the interesting part. There are multiple options that you can go with these. You can go 4 pieces Banquets, you can go with the like 4 pieces Grace, whatever you want. But I wanted to try out actually what was recommended by Nickle, which is 2 pieces Augment, which is gonna increase the duration of your Ignite. So if you remember, we are burning the enemies all the time, so the Ignite status means it's gonna create 30% more duration on your dots when it comes to burn. Then we have the 4 pieces Vitus, which is gonna increase the attack speed by 30%. Also is gonna increase your beneficial effect duration, which is pretty much the buffs, right? So these buffs that you see here behind the camera, well, here is got every buff that you have from your legendary gems, from the sprint, from the rat, everything becomes a buff. So having 30% more duration in it, it is pretty cool. And also we have 30% the attack speed, which, if you guys don't know, but whenever you proc it, the animations, everything just becomes faster. That's why maybe you're gonna see the hammer just like coming like boop, 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 because you have 30% more attack speed. So The other one, it is that you want to go with the 2 pieces of Prayer of Winter. So it is gonna give you a 15% damage boost whenever you go into shield enemies, and it's pretty much gonna be 100% of the time, because you're gonna hit them with the hammer, or you're gonna have pass through them with a sprint. We have the chilling aura. But if you actually go and you freeze them, that you can actually freeze them with your axes, you are gonna go and have a 30% boost damage, which makes it like a huge burst when it comes to it. Also, it can be used when it comes to the bosses. So very cool build. I'm gonna show it in action because I'm having a lot of fun. I use this, for example, if I want to go and do my bounties, or Terror Rift. I'm also like been using on it, or open world farming. It's just like anything I want to do that is a bit more casual. Some tower, I've been using this. If this is better than my farming build, to be honest, I think like when it comes to the farming build that I did, I kind of like it slightly a bit more, because I know that once I hit them with my dots, everything's gonna die, because I got a lot of bleeds, a lot of dots, and the 4 pieces grace. But this one, I will say that if you are and you have a really well built barb, or if you're like in a lower difficulty, it's gonna make it like extremely good. So you just go with your 3 buffs, then you put your axes, and pretty much you're just gonna go around and you're just gonna one-shot pretty much everything. Even like these golden mobs, everything is just gonna die pretty much. I'm not gonna say like, well, I'm in difficulty 4 right now, so everything is becoming like slightly more tanky. Okay, but we have here a good example. We have here an orange mob, so let's see how long it's gonna take. Well, it is pretty much dead, right? And well, we got here an axe, so it makes it like extremely simple. You just run around, and the axe that's gonna drop from the sky, it's just gonna pretty much one-shot everything. So for this to happen, you're gonna actually need to have a build that is gonna allow you to one-shot every single mob. So that's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna show you what are my legendary gems. So they are focused all in burst damage except one, but I'm gonna show you right here. Actually, let me go and let's go to the city, so we are a bit more comfy. We don't have mobs trying to attack us. And oh yeah, no, come here. Okay, let's go it. All right, so we are in the city now. We're gonna be a bit more relaxed, so let's dive into the legendary gems. If you saw my farming guide in the past, you know that I really like dots to go and farm. I still think it is probably the best way for like very low resistance to actually go and just like do a lot of damage in these mobs. However, once you get to become slightly more powerful and you make some shifts into burst builds, well, let me say to you that it works also extremely well. So instead of waiting for the mobs to slowly die, you just drop a hammer and everything gets one shot. So I'm using the Berserker Eye. This is a 1-star, the best 1-star in the game. As you see here, increases all damage by 8% and increase the critical hit chance by 1%. This is pretty much the best gem in the game for me. Then we have here the Blood-Soaked Jade that increases again all damage and also is gonna boost your movement speed. If you still don't have the Blood-Soaked Jade, well, I 100% tell you to go and use your Turtleic Pearls, your 40 Turtleic Pearls to get it. Once you get 1 copy, you get this 10% movement speed, because movement speed is gonna be extremely good for you. Then we have Roiling Consequence. I got really lucky with these. These ones are, if you're already at the Blood-Soaked Jade, the next time you're gonna use your Turtleic Fragments, you're gonna go and pull for this gem. This gem is pretty much perfect. It's gonna increase your critical hit damage. It's gonna create like explosions, fury explosions that gonna start and make your enemies burn. Not only that, you also gonna have critical hit chance against burning enemies increased by 3%. And as you see, we have like the shoulders that we have the Sunder Legacy, and everything, it is adding fire damage. So really cool gem. Probably these two are the best in the game right now. I'm also using the Fervent's Fang. This one here, it says that every time you do 10 stacks of damage, it keeps like increasing and making a debuff, you're gonna do more damage. In this game, you do like 10 hits like just in a heartbeat. In the future, maybe this can be something like, if I want to go for a very like a one-shot build, just like one big hit, maybe the Fervent's Fang can be replaced with something else. But right now I don't have anything better, so this is what we're using. Now we have here the new Morn Skull. Well, this gem, it is incredible, especially if you're a bard, but pretty much for every class, because let me tell you, not only is going to start attacking the mobs around you, but by each mob it attacks to a maximum of 3, it's going to increase your damage. So it starts with 11%, it goes to a maximum of 22. At rank 10, I think it gives like 36%. I think that's pretty much one of the biggest damage boosts that you're going to have inside this game. So very good gem. As you see, all my gems are going into pushing increase all damage, so we get this massive burst. Then we have the pain clasp. Whenever you have a dot, we're gonna have dots. It's gonna also increase your damage that you dealt by 13%. Now we have here the Viper's Bite. Is gonna guarantee that we're gonna add one more poison. To be honest, these dots gem also can be replaced with in the future with something else that is gonna add even more burst, maybe a Starfire Shard, or maybe the Wolf 5-star. But right now, I don't have a better option for this. And last but not least, we have Mother's Lament. It's going to increase, again, more critical strike, because when you crit, you kind of guarantee that you're pretty much almost going to one-shot the mobs. So that's what I want. So really good set items that I have here. I also can put like the list down below. I created like these packs of like from free to play to the biggest whale. What are the transitions that you go into the game? It is a very strong guide. So another important thing that I want to talk about when it comes like to open world farming, it has to do with your movement speed. You want to guarantee that you're going to have your movement speed at 70%. So you want to go and you want to increase your passive movement speed with a cap of 20%. So this is how the formula works. You have your movement speed, your passive movement speed, 20%, and then you can have a buff of 50%, and in total it's going to create the 70%, which is the cap. Now the way we get this, we get 10% out of our Bloodsoaked Jade, and then we also are getting 6% more from this very good blue rune. If you guys don't have this, I will actually recommend you guys to use, because you probably say, oh my god, Indez, it doesn't have like golden runes or orange runes on the name. No, I actually have it, but I am not using. I'm using these ones to give me 3% more 3%, which gives me the 16%. Now all we need is 4% more. Well, you know what? Probably pretty much you just need to find one substat along the way in your rings that's gonna give you. So I got myself these augments that gives me the 4%, so 16 plus 4 equals the 20, and this is how I got the movement speed increased to 20%. It is very important every time you want to go around the world. Well, this is how we're gonna do, and whenever you actually gonna go and you are gonna activate your sprint, it's gonna give you the remaining of 50%. So if I activate the sprint, you're gonna see that now I will have the 70% movement speed cap. But there are also other ways that you can become even faster. So if you go into your paragon and you pick the brawler and you pick this side here, you're gonna realize that you can actually increase your size by 5%. Then with the combat expertise, you can also increase even more, 3%, so you're gonna have 8%, so you're gonna become 8% bigger. But we don't stop here. If you go into your warband, this is why still warband it is important, is because if you go here to the room management and you go and you select the protector one with the blockchains for me it is the best one. You can have one that is called the Shepherd's Burden that's going to increase your size by 15%. So you're gonna have an increase of 23% of your character size. So with these, you actually become even faster. So whenever you see someone running like really fast, is because not only they have like the 70%, but they also have all these multipliers that's gonna make their character look pretty massive. So this is about it. I'm gonna keep having some fun with the Barb. I'm just wanted to share like this very fun build that I actually been enjoying a lot to play. We've been testing out other builds when it comes to the PvP ones. Nothing very exciting when it comes to Barb. So pretty much auto builds and the last rate AR still the way to go. I might share the best build that I found out for the challenge dungeons, that they are actually pretty fun. So with this, I hope you guys enjoyed it. So don't forget to go and drop cheese in the comments with the timestamp, so I know that you guys are the legend to keep carrying the channel. And with this, thank you for watching, and catch you guys next one. Peace.